Hi, I'm Katrina Zish, and you're watching Robb Report Live. We're here at the North American International Auto Show, and I'm very happy to be joined by Olivier Francois. And I'm going to read from his business card because he has so many exciting titles. He is the president and CEO of the Fiat brand. He's the chief marketing officer of the FCA Group, and he is a member of the FCA Group Executive Council. Did I get that right?
Nice to meet you.
I'm very impressed. So I really want to start off with sort of the overall marketing strategy. What connects all of the different FCA family members together?
Oh, one word, or maybe two. So we want to act as leaders, and we want, so hence we are striving to be unique. Each of our brand has to be absolutely unique. So my job as a CMO is to develop for each of our brands a very unique persona, a personality, a way to behave, a way to look at the world. Every brand has to stand for something different in order to connect with different customers. When you are a big group as ours with 8 brands, so I can very quickly summarize a brand.
Absolutely.
It's Fiat for sure, which is maybe my favorite, but I'm biased, I'm kidding. But it's also prestigious brands, Italian brands as Maserati or Alfa Romeo, or American brands such as Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, Ram trucks, and I probably missed something or some. But so what we want is to define a very unique personality for every brand. Why? Because on one hand, the investments, which are massive, developing a new car is extremely expensive. The investments are massive, but they are common. So we tend to commonalize as much as we can platforms, engine, gearbox, share,
right,
in order to make all these investments rational. On the other hand, most of these cars are going to be sold in the same showroom, under the same roof of the same dealer. Right. So the worst thing would be to have our brands interchangeable, to have cross-shopping. Right. The last thing I want is to have my Dodge customer say, step in a showroom and start hesitating between a Dodge and a Chrysler and cross-shopping our cars. I want a Dodge customer to go purchase a Dodge, and I want the Chrysler customer to buy a Chrysler. Although the platform can be the same, although they might share some technologies, they have to have some very specific, unique, again, attitude, way to express themselves. So the job of, or one of the jobs of the marketing guy is
the marketing guy. And the marketing guy
is to make these brands as unique as they're all your babies, you know, but they are all different. As all your kids can be absolutely different. You are not going to, you will never confused when right. when you speak to your kids. So this is a little bit what we do. That's maybe the overarching story, you know, make them unique. And to make them unique, you have to act as leaders. Every brand has to be a leader in something, you know, a pioneer in something. I mean, Jeep has to be a global, the one and only SUV global leader.
Right.
Ram is the only brand in the world that makes trucks and trucks only. So we want Ram to be the absolute #1 specialist of building pickup trucks, and so on, you know. And Alfa is all about Italian sportiness, yes. And Maserati is Italian luxury, and Dodge is you know, the muscle car and the performance, American performance, brought to the streets, and so on. So that's what we do. So the customer is not confused, and he can relate to a brand. Actually, I was about to say I hate when a customer hesitates between 2 brands, right. But I would put it in a positive way. I love when a customer totally relates to one of our brands, right. And not to the others. Right. There's nothing wrong about this.
Well, there's a distinct visual vocabulary and a distinct
Perfect.
connection.
visual vocabulary, which I call a picture. I define 8 P's, and for every brand has a series of P's, you know, which is the picture, the way you are going to feature your cars, whether it's in a catalog or in a commercial or on the web, on a website. P is also the playlist. I mean, the music will be totally different. I mean, you know, Jeep is maybe more folk, and we created a piece of music recently called Renegades, sung by a band, a young up-and-coming band called Ex-Ambassadors, and that song, which was created really for a commercial, went crazy.
I was going to say, I'm thinking of Eminem at the Super Bowl.
Eminem,
for
that's the
Chrysler,
sound of Chrysler.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, country music is clearly the sound of Ram. While Fiat loves to.
I was going to ask you, what's the music of Fiat?
The music of Fiat loves to discover up-and-coming talents. You know, we partnered recently at the American Music Awards with Song, and we like to discover these guys and make them grow with us. But okay, Pitbull wrote a song for us called Sexy People, so it was a remake of a very famous Italian classic, but in a Pitbull way.
Right, as only Pitbull can do.
So we love to partner with up-and-coming artists and help them, you know, bring them to the light. But from time to time, it's nice to have, you know, big artists and wanting to write a song. In the case of Eminem, this is very special. So his song, that's not really, that's beyond music or beyond a song. This is another story that's now a 5 years old story. I was a CEO of the Chrysler brand at the time, and I really needed to relaunch the brand and find an angle. You know, marketing is nothing else than telling stories.
Right.
People, they don't want marketing. No one wakes up in the morning and say, hey, I'd love to see some good marketing. No, no one. But okay, they want to hear stories. They want to hear great stories. So I needed to invent a story. So it can be a product story, or it can be something else. We love product stories because we love our products and we are all car guys. But in this case, it was not exactly a product story that I wanted to tell America about Chrysler. I mean, I couldn't wait to tell a product story because there was so much good things to tell about the product.
Right.
But there was something more fundamental, more needed, more substantial. You know, re-establish Chrysler as a credible brand. It had lost any kind of credibility, and people didn't even like the brand anymore. So we wanted to restore the brand, and there was almost nothing to lose. You know, the brand was had lost so much of its brand equity. So we had not much to lose, and we had, except the money of a 2-minute Super Bowl, which is a lot of money.
Which is quite expensive.
And I was at the time even ignorant, by the way, that you couldn't make a 2-minute Super Bowl because the pods were 30 seconds. So the maximum buy you could make was 3 times 30, which was 90 seconds. So that's a minute and a half. But by mistake, we made a 2-minute commercial, and we found a way to thanks to NBC at the time.
Yes.
They carved, you know, 2 minutes of it's thanks to NBC and to the NFL as well. They've been very good to us because they had to delay a little bit, the moment when the game resumes. Anyway, but it was fun.
But it was also a celebration of Detroit, of course.
It was totally a celebration.
The message imported from Detroit.
Exactly.
And of course, FCA is, you know, based here. So I mean, how do you see FCA being part of the renaissance of Detroit? So
yeah, fair point. So at the time we needed a story for Chrysler. What could this story be? And there is something. The one thing, probably the only one thing positive about being a Frenchman working for an Italian company in Detroit, meaning I was pretty lost in translation, like Bill Murray in the movie. But the one thing which is positive is that you see the obvious. You know, you don't lose yourself in the detail. You don't get lost in the details. So what was pretty obvious is that the city was exactly like us. It had a spirit.
Yeah.
It had a vitality. It's resilient. It is courageous. It's brave, and it deserved to rebound.
Yeah.
But
It's a great parallel. Yeah.
So it's total. Chrysler and Detroit were the one same thing. Not liked, almost hated at the time.
Right.
You know? But with a wonderful potential comeback story. So we wanted to create the comeback story of Chrysler, but thinking, hey, what about being part of the comeback of Detroit? You know, because what's good for Detroit is going to be good for us, and vice versa. So when you start with an idea like this, it's a very vague idea, really.
Sure.
It's a powerful idea, but you cannot build a commercial on an idea like this. So luckily, there was a song, which is almost to me the anthem of this idea, which is Lose Yourself, Eminem, 8 Mile. So my only idea was, okay, let's just build a commercial around that song. And the only problem is that the second thing I didn't know, besides the 2-minute commercial, is that I had no clue that Eminem would never endorse a company, a corporation, or a car.
Right.
I didn't know that, and which is a good thing. Otherwise, I probably would not even have tried to reach out to him and his management. And luckily I didn't know, so I tried. And he has a passion for Detroit, as we all have.
Of course.
So telling you that it has been an easy ride would be a lie, but it has not been impossible. And proof is he granted a success to this wonderful song.
Amazing.
And surprise, cherry on the top. I mean, this was almost not scripted. He made an appearance in a commercial.
Yes.
And these are one of these magical moments when everything comes together, and you have a city, a brand, and a man, and
an
a
artist.
character,
Yes.
an artist, and all these totally aligns. Then the big question was, all marketing is all about relevance. I mean, if you are not relevant, you will never connect.
Right.
So why would you spend your money? You know, your 2 minutes at a Super Bowl. So the big question was, but you want to be relevant in a positive way. So the debate internally was, is this Detroit story relevant beyond 8 miles?
Right.
You know, is it relevant to the rest of the country? Will people connect?
Sure.
And if they do, will they connect in a positive way, or will they hate us even more?
Right. So did that feel like a risk at the time?
It was. No, it definitely was. And if it was not for our group CEO, who had the guts to say, let's try.
Right.
But that was incredibly gutsy. A normal CEO
gutsy.
probably would not back his CMO up that way, you know. But he said, let's do it. So we did it, and the commercial resonated. Downtown, I had no doubt. In the Detroit area, no problem. Michigan, sure.
Sure.
But it resonated everywhere. It stopped and started a conversation. Very powerful. So the Detroit story was relevant, and it was not negatively relevant. It was positively relevant. So this worked, and the sales immediately started. So this, this car, we had no money when we took over Chrysler. So we took this Sebring car, which was not clearly the best car, and we fixed it.
Right.
So we fixed it in a very honest way. So we made a good car with substance out of a not so good car. But we fixed the substance. We didn't have all the money in the world to change the looks.
Right.
That's very expensive. What's incredible, so we acted very honestly, but at the same time, I was not sure whether the car sales would react, knowing that, again, the physics of the car didn't really change, you know?
Right.
We changed the name, we changed the substance, we made it a good, reliable, dependable car, but okay, we were a bankrupt company or out of bankruptcy. But it worked, and the sales went up 800%. Like
spectacular.
Booming, spectacular. And from there we started this imported from Detroit story that expanded to other cars, to the 300, to other crosser cars, you know, and partnering with, so we started partnering with Eminem, but we partnered with other Detroit, you know.
So the benefits kept going and going for everybody
Going and
involved.
going. I mean,
It's
we
wonderful.
extended, we had John Barbados create a special edition 300 for us, and is also a son of the city. And we had Iggy Pop being featured in that commercial. And then I reached out to Barry Gordy, the founder of the Motown, who opened his catalog of music and appeared in the commercial himself, and we created a 300 Motown edition.
Olivier, really, thank you. I mean, these are such amazing stories, and I love hearing the insight, and we are so happy to have you join us. So thank you so much for being here with us. I appreciate it.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Katrina Zish, and you're watching Robb Report Live.